Good morning. God, another glorious day at the plot. I've bought more onions. Now, these ones were recommended by Jessie at plot 37. I've seen that she'd said about Pink Panther and that they were a really good onion that don't tend to, go to seed. So I have bought some. I've given out a few already because I didn't need that many, but I'm going to plant some out today here. So that, hopefully these Pink Panthers are the way forward. So I'll give them a go anyway. But yeah, more onions. Right, I'm not going to overcomplicate this. Let's move the cloche over. And I'm just going to simply push them in to the compost. Like so. Now I've just realised that I've got cardboard under here and the roots are going to struggle. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a hole. There we go. Now the roots can go down, because I've done this once before. A few years ago I planted onions in a no-dig bed and the roots couldn't go anywhere, and I didn't have a very good harvest because the compost takes a little bit longer to decay than what the roots needed. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Just like so. Do you know what? It just feels really nice to just be able to get out in the garden and just plant something out. Now I'll probably do 2 rows of these and then I'll cloche it over, because the issue you want is once these start popping up, you don't want the birds to think that they're worms servicing and pulling them out of the compost. So I think that's what I'll do. I'll just pop this cloche back on for a week or so, just for it to root down. There you are, job done. So my next job today is to take out the bits of wood out here and fill these up with some well-rotted manure I've bought in bags, just to top them up, maybe an inch from the top, and then maybe a layer of compost later on when I start to plant out. But yeah, that's the next job. Let's get that done. Tell me it doesn't feel like spring now though, but this is like a false spring. We get it every year where people think, oh, a nice little flush of warmth and sun, and people get overexcited and start sowing, which I have done as well, but I've still been quite appropriate for what I'm sowing. But yeah, false spring is kind of here already, and then all of a sudden we'll have boom, drop temperatures and things will die off. So don't be planting things out in this weather, because you will regret it. I've got things out hardening off, but any sign of frost, you'll become a really passionate gardener when you're checking the weather app every day. Is it going to rain tomorrow? Can I do work? Is it going to be frosty overnight? You become an obsessive gardener. I've also bought 40 new bean canes. Now the reason is because the hazelnut that borders around the allotment, usually we tend to take a bit of it ourselves and then we use it for our structures on the plot. But sadly not sadly, it's good for them as well. They've kind of bent it all into a nice hedgerow now, which is lovely, but it just meant that we haven't got those anymore. So I've had to buy 40 new canes, which is fine for the structures on here. I've still got a few hazelnut from last year, so I still will use those. And if I can get any more, ideally I'd like to use those because they look more rustic. But, it is what it is.
Hey darling, can I tell you what's been on my mind? Sick and tired of the 9 to 5 in the city life. Hey darling, we could get out of town, see the beautiful world around, wanna see it now. Pack our bags and get in that car, leave a little note and we'll drive real far. Let's get out, we can leave this city, let's drive to the open air. Yeah, the countryside is so pretty, with the wind blowing in your hair. just me and you, on the road with a couple of tunes in a car for two. Hey darling, you know we're gonna have a really good time, driving in the middle of the night when the stars are bright. Pack our bags and get in that car, leave a little note and we'll drive real far. Let's get out, we can leave this city, let's drive to the open air. Yeah, the countryside is so pretty, with the wind blowing in your hair. We can look back someday, baby, don't you understand that we only get one life? I wanna make it count, honey, come on now and take my hand.
As you can see now, the beds are all done, and I mean, look at this compost. I've showed you it before, but look, no huge amounts of bark in it. You know, it's a perfect growing medium, and I've used it for a few years now, so beautiful. So as you've seen, I just mulched the 2 raised beds and also the asparagus bed. So this is absolutely beautiful now. This is very, very well rotted manure that you can buy in sacks, and this will feed the asparagus bed really, really well now. And I've also put the border trim on as well, as you can see, so that'll keep the soil in. And then also here I've got some pine breeze and alpine berries from Cheryl, so she's just dropped them over, and I'll pop them up now in a bit. So I'll have some, like, hopefully some new strawberry plants. I also want to say a huge thank you so much for everyone who subscribes, likes, comments on my videos. So this week I hit 5k subscribers on my channel, so honestly it made my day and I was absolutely over the moon. I can't believe I've got to 5,000 subscribers. You know, when I started I thought I'll just put a few videos up and hopefully families and friends will watch and I might get 100 subscribers, but here we are over 2 years later and we've hit 5k, so thank you so much. So being a fickle gardener, I've decided to move the white sprouting broccoli over to the actual growing area now. Now, they had formed a few roots, but I've moved them. And the reason I've done this is because I thought, in hindsight, that this will be eventually the runner bean area. And by May time when I want to plant out, they might be really established by then. So it's better if I move them now. And in this area, I'll just put things in there that I can just, you know, can come out of the bed quicker rather than something that's going to stay in the bed for a lot longer. So they're there now. And yeah, I've cloched them over as well, which I've shown you before. These are absolutely beautiful. They're from Dunelm, I think I bought them from. And they just keep those plants a little bit protected from the pigeons in the hungry grap. So they'll do just well there. Whoa! Like last time.
Oh, well done. Annie's cake. 5,000 subscribers. Woo! I'm finishing this off and then I'm going on the champagne.
Well, that was a lovely surprise to go over to the Feel Good Garden and see Bethan from Bethan's Kitchen Garden, and obviously Linda. They've all come up now with Bethan's mum and we're having a little look around. Here she is, Queen of Gardening.
Hello everybody!
And Linda from the Feel Good Garden. Hi. And Linda's mum. No. We'll do that again. And Bethan's mum. Hello, Anwen.
Hello.
We found him. Oh,
Proper family affair.
family affair. So Bethan, you've had a little look around.
Yes, it's awesome.
Yeah, she popped around.
Yeah.
She come for the cake really and all the champagne, but thanks for bringing the Welsh cakes as well, Bethan.
Oh, no problem. No problem.
Good morning. So much has happened in such a short space of time. I came up here the other night and oh, let me show you this first. This is a beautiful clip. I popped over and I'm not going to spoil the surprise. Look at this. So I quickly just popped over and look at that sky. Just come over to lock up the polytunnel. Look at it, absolutely beautiful. Red sky tonight, Shepherd's Delight. how amazing was that? You know, the sky was actually like a golden pink colour. You know, they call it the golden hour and photographers love it, but I just happened to be on the plot and I carried on gardening and it seemed so magical, and it was surreal really to see the mountains all pinky gold. So yeah, absolutely fantastic. But also, I also looked on Facebook Marketplace and found these. So I went to a local vegan restaurant and they use a lot of mushrooms there, and they happened to put on Marketplace, they had a few there. I nabbed 40 of these mushroom trays. Now I know you're gonna say, Danny, you've got about 50 trugs, but these are handy to give like to friends and family when you do a little harvest. I've got quite a few here, and I'll talk about the polytunnel now in a minute, but I got quite a few here, and I actually had more than this, but I've already donated it to some of the other plot holders, which, you know, I'm glad that they can get rid of some as well, so I'll probably collect some more later on in the season for them. And yeah, it's just nice that I've got a good supply of these now, and they're also handy as well. So if you've got like a tray of seedlings that you've just started off, you can pop it in there, place another one on top, it's still getting a decent amount of light, and then you can stack them. So probably not this size, but when you're first starting off with sowing, they're perfect for that as well, stacking up. So there is quite a few uses for these. Also, I did a huge bark run. I came up and a friend of mine who's a tree surgeon I've mentioned before texted me saying bark is on its way. It was a mountain of golden bark. So I collected 60 sacks altogether, 50 for the grapevine garden, 10 extra for here to when I take the fruit bushes out. I'll need some to go around that area, and also a few of them I might come into the polytunnel area because that needs to be rebarked. But there's been so many things going on, and let me show you the grapevine garden so far. I've started scraping back the paths, and you know that it was actual compost underneath, and there are some pieces of bark in it which will be fine. You know, that'll really hold the moisture into the soil in the summer as well. I will top dress it with a nice compost before I plant in, to give it that extra boost of food. But the paths are looking golden already. I've got so much more to do down there. It's still the fruit cage, loads and loads to do, but we'll talk about that later on. Let me talk about this mess. So this is what's happening right now in the polytunnel. I have got an abundance of crops going. I mean, look at those lettuces, do you know what I mean? They're absolutely beautiful. The onions are all coming up now, so are all the peas. These onions are really taken as well, which I'm happy about. So have the shallots, some chard, and also I had some lettuces donated by another plot holder, Cheryl. And also I've got some purple flowered habies off Linda at the Feel Good Garden. So yeah, it's all looking okay here. And then this, so it started raining and I've had orders of the bamboo canes, the crates came, I had raised beds delivered, everything's in here, compost has been delivered as well. So I think I'm going to take today, because if you can hear it's raining, a couple of minutes to sort this out. Bethan from the kitchen garden, she came over and I said just go and look at the polytunnel. Honestly, it's an absolute mess, but that's just reality sometimes, that you get ordered, you just clamber it all in there because you're rushing with your life, and you're also rushing for, you know, when the rain. But let's get it sorted. So before I sort the polytunnel out, I just want to show you some more plants that I bought. I bought some hyacinths. I think I bought a pink, a purple and a blue, and also some tetetes as well. They were in Morrison's. I think they were 2 pots for £1 or 2 pots for £2. So I bought those because they're going to go under the fig tree, because I've got some there as well, but I want to add some more of these so that they'll come back year after year. So that's the plan for these. Look at these. God, it's all going on here now, honestly. It's all going on. These are all the bark sacks that I've got as well, so there's quite a few here now. And the good thing about these is that this now will be the stock for this area. So this area is it all needs to be done and all to be dug out, mulched, paths put back in. The asparagus is looking absolutely fantastic. I'm really pleased about this. So yeah, let's get on with the polytunnel.
Give me love, give me all your love. Oh, 'cause I want you. No one else makes me feel this way. Don't know what you do. Hold my hand, could you hold my hand? Look me in the eyes. You and me, yeah, that's all I need. And I'll be alright. I'll be right here. I swear that I'll stay here with you. Hold me closer. I wanna stay here with you. All that we have is each other now. I promise I won't leave your side. Be who you are and you'll be enough. If you're giving me your love, giving me your love.
So as you can see, I've had a good sort out now, barked the floor, mulched the bed over here. I'm gonna have to, my potatoes are here, so I'm gonna have to put another floating shelf up here. Now I have got one, but it's here. So it's part of the staging, and I normally use it later on the season. I think I'll build another one, maybe more shallower, that just fits one set of these all the way across. And then possibly then I can just chit all my potatoes there hanging up. So if any rodents try and get in here and try and get to them, they won't be able to do that. But also, look what I've done. I've had a good sort out here. As you can see, most of the plants are not here anymore. I've got a few that haven't come up from the surface yet. But what I've done is, I've popped all the alliums, the daffodils and the tulips outside now, and also some sage. So all of these now are quite hardy. They'll be all right out here, you know, they are supposed to, you know, grow outside in the soil anyway, so I'm sure they'll all be fine. But these will all be planted over into the other bed once I've prepared it and took out the raspberries, but they'll all be okay here. I also noticed that the mustards and the calabrese and also the all-year collie have started to shoot up now. I'll thin these out a little bit later on once they grow some true leaves, and then, you know, pot them all on. So they're looking grand. I'm happy with those. I know I've gone on about this a few times, but I'm so pleased with these. These are literally, if this was spring now, they'd be ready to plant out, but I'm going to plant some out in the polytunnel. So it feels good now to have a good sort out of the polytunnel. It just looks a bit more organised. I've got a few more things that I want to do in here. I bought a lot more canes this year, so they're all stored up here. But it's raining. As always, it's raining. It was supposed to be nice and sunny today, but the clouds are saying different, which has been delaying me. You know, I was supposed to be spending another day down the grapevine garden, carry on doing some weeding and barking the rest of the plot. That hasn't happened, but you know, I'll just wait for another day. There's no rush, there's no rush at all. You know, the grapevine garden now is on its way to becoming the most beautiful plot ever. And also this weather has also delayed me from building my veg truck from Quick Crop, so thanks so much for sending that. I'm gonna have to just find some time, but I don't see the point of building it inside, putting it out in the rain when the weather's, you know, it's not good anyway. But I'm gonna get that done as soon as possible as well, and then I'll start showing you the nice herb garden that I'm gonna have in my courtyard, and also a nice salad bar inside that veg truck as well. So it just means, I've mentioned it before, if I haven't got time to rush over the plot or the weather's really bad and I just want to grab a little lettuce, there'll be a couple in there that I'll just tick over, that I'll just use through the spring and summer. You know, I'm going to put a couple of bush tomatoes in there as well. So if there's any other ideas that you've got that I can put in that veg truck, I think I'm going to do some radishes, some spring onions, 2 bush tomatoes, some salads, maybe some mustards, rocket maybe. I'm just going to put them all in there. I have got a cover for it as well. So I'm really excited to build that. So I'll put a link to that underneath. So if you want to go have a look at it, maybe you want to, you know, start building one yourself as well, because they're perfect for small gardens. But I'm going to do a nice build on that as well. But also, I bought a new trellis system here as well for this bed, and I was hoping that the weather would hold off a bit. If it stops raining, I'll probably build that today. And the idea is that that will be the main structure for the beans up on this plot. So I'll show you that now on a picture, and it looks fantastic. I'm hoping it'll fit. We shall see. If not, I'll find some space somewhere else. Whew. Don't know if you can see that, but it's quite cold in here. It's still quite chilly outside, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have my lunch and then I'm going to build that structure for outside and just put it outside and it should be okay. I think once I've done it, I might, after it's built, have a look at it, see if I need to buy a net for it or something for the beans or the sweet peas or anything that I'm going to put on it to climb up it. So let's have lunch and let's build that. I am so happy with that. It's like it was built for that. It's the perfect size. It's absolutely perfect. And it was quite easy to put together. So if you don't like fiddly things or you've got arthritis, I'd probably get someone else to sort this out because those little clips, I'll show you them now. They are quite tough. So they have got a bit of friction on them, of course, to keep it together, but it is a sturdy bit of kit. Now, this isn't a review, I bought this out of my own money, but I'm so happy with that. I might even get another one, you know? I'm really pleased with that. Isn't it just really nice when things go to plan and come together? So today was one of those days. The rain didn't stop me, but I carried on anyway. I'm Danny, and this is Grow Up.